Psalm 63. We've last time finished a very, what I feel is a very encouraging part of this poem. I cling to you. This is verse 8. I cling to you. Your strong right hand holds me securely. And I talked a bunch about a security thing, and just the encapsulated form is everybody needs security. Not everybody needs it in the same way or in the same measure, but everybody needs security. And in fact, God has created us in such a way that our brain is always looking for ways for us to find security and be secure. The the other term is safe. We want to be safe. We need to be safe. Now, just because it's worth touching on again, I've confessed to you, shared, I battle anxiety. And there are times when I feel unsafe, because really, when you feel unsafe, you're going to feel anxious. And there are times that I feel unsafe when I am, in actuality, I'm not unsafe. This feeling in me is sometimes, and less over time now, and I'm so grateful to God, but it can be quite overpowering for me. Well, that's kind of the nature of safety for everybody. Most of us probably want more safety than we need. I mean, how do you even objectify or quantify how much security do you need? I don't know how you can. I do know that our culture promotes the idea that you're not safe enough. You just aren't. And you're going to have to do some stuff or buy some stuff in order to be secure. Well, I mean, I'm not against insurance. I'm not against caution and taking precaution. But I am a little bit against the idea that you are just so unsafe. Don't you ever be so silly as to think everything's okay. Every news outlet promotes the idea that you're not okay and it's not safe. Look at the content. The vast majority of the content is about horrible, tragic, dangerous things. Okay. Got that off my chest. Just the thought, though, of as followers of Jesus, as God's dearly loved children, I can't trust my full and complete safety and security to anyone but Him. Now, the people close to me, whom I trust, but whatever the level of trust that they have established with me and I with them, that's the ceiling of what I can count on them for security. My security, this is a strong word, but my security must come from God, knowing that He loves me, reflecting on the past and reminding myself of how He has taken care of me, provided for me, made me safe. Okay, maybe nobody but me needed that today. But going on to verse 9, now we flip the coin, because the side of the coin that's been up through these first 8 verses is basically the goodness of God. Verse 9, but those plotting to destroy me will come to ruin. Okay, now, there are people for David, there were people who were literally plotting to destroy him. They wanted to take his life. I'm grateful to God I don't have anybody in my life like that I know of. I'm not important enough to be sought for that kind of destruction, but don't we all have this one common enemy? Jesus described the devil by saying he's a thief. And the thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And he never gives up. He never takes a day off. He changes his approach almost continually, but he is never not active. I started rereading again the Screw Tape Letters by C.S. Lewis, and I'm just thinking, good grief, he knew me. And if you've never read them, I highly recommend it. They're fiction, these letters, and what he does is he creates what he thinks a seasoned, older demon tempter would write in terms of advice, admonition, correction to his nephew, a younger demon who has been assigned to a human being for their destruction. It is at times humorous, but almost, well, I can say for me, every chapter, every letter that Screwtape writes to Wormwood, his nephew, is he's reading my mail. It's amazing to me to think of the many ways that our enemy, the devil, is trying to. His objective is to steal, kill, and destroy. Peter, the apostle, in 1 Peter 5 says that your enemy, the devil, is like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. See, this is not like, well, he's going to make your life hard. It's just that, just get used to it. No. Yeah, your life's going to be hard. You probably ought to get used to that. But you got an enemy who wants to devour you, to destroy you, to kill you. Well, one of Satan's tactics is to kind of, because he has a limited amount of control, but he has a high amount of control in culture and society because we've given it to him, he will constantly be steering culture toward the idea, either one of two extremes, and this is from the Screwtape Letters, either devil, come on, that's what ignorant, uneducated, unsophisticated peasants in the Dark Ages believed. We're enlightened. Science can demonstrate the fallacy of all of that. Science is our answer. There is no devil, okay? Get over that. And that's one extreme. And if we disbelieve, this is the way I would say it, that the devil is real, that puts us where he wants us. The other extreme is to see him in everything, every shadow. Well, there's a devil. That was a demon. Somewhere in the middle is the reality. There are demons. The devil is real. And he has a program to destroy you. Okay. Those plotting to destroy me will come to ruin. This is David was thinking of his literal enemies. I am thinking of my capital E enemy, the devil. And I believe this is true. He will come to ruin. There will be a time after Jesus' return, and I don't care what your millennial view is, pre, post, awe, I'm basically pro millennial. I am for it. I want to be ready because I know from my own personal experience, when you die, you're probably not going to be able to select the date. And it will probably come as a surprise. I want to be ready for his return. Because today, it's more than hyperbole to say this could be your last day. It really could. Well, okay. When Jesus returns, the reign of Satan and his fallen demonic angels ends. Jesus puts an end to his work in your life and my life as believers, and he cast him, and it's a very metaphorical language that's used, but he is cast into the fiery pits of hell and chained there. One day, so far, not today though, they will go down to the depths of the earth. What David was talking about, what's the depths of the earth? Is the grave. And it's real possible that he's even saying, because there was a very localized view of hell as below, down in the earth, somewhere in the farthest reaches. Well, they'll go down to the depths of the earth. Well, they will come to ruin, and not just, ooh, man, I lost a lot there. No, death. Verse 10, they will die by the sword and become the food of jackals. He is not mincing words here, is he? And in a way, this is a request. It's at least a prophecy against his enemies. You will die by the sword. That, I'm just thinking, dying by the sword is, okay, would be a horrible way to die. But he's not necessarily talking about the pain of death. He's talking, the sword was a primary weapon in David's day. You're going to die by the sword, by the primary weapon. Okay. And become food of jackals. Well, it's just a very dramatic picture of you're going to die and the end will be ugly. Verse 11, but the king will rejoice in God. All of that, we have an enemy. David had many enemies, and just a reminder, they want to, and our enemy wants to destroy us, but ultimately, our enemy, and David felt his enemies would be vanquished. They would themselves be destroyed. And in verse 11, thinking in terms of enemies that are out to destroy us, but the king will rejoice in God. I'm tempted to rejoice in the fact that my enemy will be vanquished, will be destroyed. That's not what David says. He's the king, will rejoice in God. Now we're going to come back to the fact that most of us rejoice much more in what God does for us than in who he is. But for now I'm done. I'll see you next time on So Care with Stevie.